like water being poured from the vessel onto a hard surface. I am unable to predict with any certainty where that water will hit. See it shattering while splattering as liquid does. It drips and gets into the most intimate crevices, saturating every strand of me, lubricating rusty arpeggios, spontaneously vocalizing just 'cause I like to hear the notes. And whether I speak or whether I sing, it begins to pour out of me so abundantly that it won't be contained, it won't dissolve or be drained out of my veins. This is just the way I came. So how can I intellectually comprehend grasping after worthiness without accepting all the richness that resides in me just as easily? It's the degree of transparency. You see, it obstructs what we see. But for too long, I have sought approval by apologizing first. And I never sought retribution second, even for the ill will that you whispered over me like curses when I was too unschooled to know how cruel you could really be. It's hard for me to stand up here in front of you all and explain to you plainly how I was given the tools and ammunition to be reckless and dangerous with myself out of desperation and urgency. But I have dug enough inexplicably deep trenches to hide in, to fortify me against any encroachment upon my fate, my lot, or my destiny. But at times I fear that this ain't enough to protect me. See, I'm grasping. But no matter what the conflict or the diptych or the horse shit, wisdom and revelation will eventually bring reason on me. It's like a torrential drenching, just like sweating. It drips off my fingertips and it mingles with the scent of a Sharpie pen, and it soaks through quad-ruled composition papers that I have bound tightly, stacked away neatly, packed away for another rainy day. But just like water being poured from a vessel onto a hard surface, I'm unable to predict with any kind of certainty where that water will hit once it begins to flow. Like water, like water, like water.
Don't do hurt nobody.
Because that's what they are. A lot of these are put to funk and soul music as well, so we have a new sort of sound that's coming out. So look out for the Lazy Susan that's featuring Ladies In. This is a poem that I wrote about Samuel James. It's the first time that I've ever read it. I read it today. It's the first time I've ever read it. I actually wrote it some time ago, and I finished the edits today because I wanted to bring it to my friend. And I want to tell you a little story, so I'm just going to preach to you, read off the page, and hope you all enjoy it. It's called Samuel James. Samuel James was a blues man that I met in Maine. Shed his slave name in a Faustian exchange and became the real Samuel James. Time can be measured by the age of sand, and so can a man. Ashes and dust form some other us, but real bluesmen are fused by a different kind of glue. The story goes in my embellishments, or poetic remembrances, is that I could see this young man, stylish, well-robed in a silver suit and vegan shoes, fresh and pristine. In the left breast pocket of his jacket, behind a red silk square, he found a note on a white sheet of paper, intentionally folded so that he could read the outside. It said, "Real bluesmen never die." The inside, handwritten, said, "You can only go back, but never see forward. Reverse can be your present. Present is your intention. Do you accept this invitation?" Unsure whether it was a hand gesture or a facial expression, but somehow he gave permission, and suddenly found himself sitting in the rumble seat of a Model T, driven unrepentantly over potholes in quiet reservation, half blind by the Alabama sun, dust collecting in his perspiration, creating a new layer of skin. The cotton was so high it made him feel as moody as Coltrane with sweaty pit stains, unhappy with the exchange, turning to his nicotine and extra dry champagne. The devil's chauffeur drove him right up to that famous intersection, gave him a guitar and a case and an extra set of strings, and told him to walk back home to men. He nearly went insane with doubt that he would be singled out. But there was magic in the music that he churned like a cauldron. The right potion, the correct portion, transported him into those inventions of the human mind, creating muscle memory as savvy and agile as a vampire. The blues can never die. The blues can never die. The blues can never die. Delilah was his first muse, sent his way to give him a fade, but then when he played, she changed the tune and decided to just shave a lightning bolt over his temple so he wouldn't lose his strength. Then he became a ghost, walking around unnoticed through the gun-powdered battlefields of war, forever leaving bullet holes in his existential clothes. With one eye, our young man James has stared through the dirty peepholes of unlimited knowledge and worldly pleasures and chose a fascination with vaudeville shows, twisting and tuning steel and strings like an explosives tactician. Rooms implode when exposed to pure talent, vaporized into electric smoke, sucked into the lungs of the bluesmen who never rest. Forever on that train, the devil's orphans, carpet bag in hand, waiting for their father to claim them at the next stop. I'm here to say that I bought my ticket on the gospel train of the real sandwich. And I know that there are others in this room who feel the same. So if you feel me, repeat after me and say his name. Sam James. Let him feel that brush with fame. Brother, if you ever wonder if you got the stuff, remember us. Just as sure as Rosa makes you sweat, we have proclaimed, just by saying your name, that we stood this close to a real blues man from Maine. My neighbor, ladies and gentlemen, Sam James.